All right, so we're gonna do a little Q&A. I periodically post these in my Instagram stories, so if you are interested in me answering your question in a future video, first let me know if you like this style of video, and then go ahead and follow me over at Paradigm of Perfection over on Instagram, and I periodically post these question boxes on my stories, and you can ask all of the questions you want there. So I feel like I've had some new people come in, so one of the first questions was, what do you do for work? So I actually have a fair amount of jobs. I started out as a physical therapist, so I have my doctor of physical therapy. I'm an orthopedic clinical specialist, and I still work in the clinic to this day. So I am treating in the outpatient ortho setting. And then I have my own business, Paradigm of Perfection, where I have online training clients, programs that you can purchase, whether it's to progress up to a skill, build your strength and mobility with one of my prehab programs, or I have my Lift Like Laura programs, or you can do an individualized program as well and work directly with me. So that's one side of things, so those are 2 jobs so far. And then I have a third job. I am a trainer for Base Blocks. I'm a trainer for their online platform, so if you end up doing that, you might see me on there and have some of my programs there. And then lastly, I am a MyFlex coach, and I will link all of these below if you are interested in diving deeper into any one of these. Essentially, it is a flexibility program and assessment from Jen Crane, or the Cirque Physio, over on Instagram. If you don't already, go ahead and give her a follow, especially if you're like hypermobility, circus arts, things like that, because some of her content might be interesting to you. Amazing human, amazing professional. I have learned a lot from her and truly respect her, and I am a coach for her online program, MyFlex. So yes, that is 4 jobs. I don't know how I do it. I cannot answer that question. Another question was, how is the house and what is happening there? When is it supposed to be done? So if you've been following me for a little bit, I've probably mentioned the fact that my husband and I are building a house. It is taking quite a long time. Hopefully in the next 4 to 6 months we will be moving in, but we'll really see how the heck it goes, because right now everything's crazy. It took a lot longer to get windows in than expected. It's taking a lot longer for pretty much everything. So it is what it is. We are using this time to learn the lessons of patience, to be honest. Another question about the house was if I plan on having a bigger workout space in it, and I'm very excited. So it actually, long story short, we actually had to move over the house where we were planning on building it on the property because there was a massive rock. This was a good thing and a very bad thing at the same time, because we had to build a basement that we did not financially plan for. So that is partly why I've been a little bit more stressed out about finances recently and not doing things like rock climbing, etc., so forth, that you guys sometimes ask me about. And no, I don't go rock climbing except like twice a year because money, time, and finances. Anyways, that's a separate question. But we had to do a basement. So that is actually going to be my office space. It's going to be a little studio space, and I'm very excited for it. And then another thing is we are going to have a little bit of a workout space in our living area. So the salmon ladder squat rack situation is coming with, and we are also going to have trusses. If you see me hanging on said trusses, just know that those have been designed to be load bearing, so I can do, like, I want to learn aerial silks in the future. So I will have some space in the house for activities, and pretty much it's going to be a massive playground, and I'm very excited. Another question was one that I've actually seen a couple times before, so I'm going to go ahead and answer this. This is kind of related to one of my programs. So I do have a shoulder prehab program. I will link that below. But this question is, do you have a program that will address upper trap dominance during shoulder exercises? So upper trap dominance is essentially when your upper trap kind of kicks on, and so you might see this if you're like doing a lateral like raise, but you're coming up here. Essentially, yes, my shoulder prehab program will help strengthen the other muscles around there, which then can calm that muscle down, because the upper trap likes to compensate for other muscles that are weaker. So strengthening the rotator cuff and scapular stabilizers will typically help. My shoulder prehab program will show you how to do that. Do I see my training change as I get older? Yes, I definitely do. And it has already changed significantly from when I first started training myself. So little background, grew up doing gymnastics, started when I was 4, retired from college gymnastics when I was 21. After that, I kind of was like, what the heck am I doing? I started lifting myself, I designed my own workout programs, and I was running a lot more. I did full body workouts 5 days a week and did not sleep enough. And it was aggressive, to say the least. I knew that wasn't optimal. Like, I knew ideally you needed, well, I didn't realize at that time that I needed to sleep. That was my sister yelling at me and me finally learning. But I knew that training full body intensely 5 days a week was not optimal, but I was fine. I also didn't warm up, and then I just like started feeling sore, achy, you know, like not good. And then I started incorporating warm-ups, and that definitely helped me feel a little bit better. And then I came to the realization that I can no longer train full body hard every single day. Like my body just wasn't liking that. So I switched to a lower, upper full split for the 5 days a week. And that's currently what I'm doing now. The volume of that has actually reduced as well. And I'm prioritizing sleep a lot more. I kind of learned that when I had shoulder surgery and I started prioritizing sleep, because for some reason when I'm injured, like my go-to is to be like super diligent about everything else. I think it might be like, I can't control my injury, but I can control everything else in my life. It might be coming from a not healthy part, but it kind of helps with the recovery. But I was like, prioritize nutrition, hydration, and sleep like to the max. And then I realized that when I started sleeping less again, I did not function at all. So sleep is definitely important, and I learned that. So those are kind of how my training has already changed. As I do age, I do want to increase the amount of time that I'm spending outside on walks and runs potentially, or biking, some sort of just like lower intensity cardio, just to keep my heart healthy. Continuing to do some mobility work, probably reducing the intensity of the workouts that I'm doing, potentially not like every day, maybe doing like a heavier day and a lighter day and going back and forth, or potentially just reducing the amount of training that I'm doing each day. But I still want to be able to have fun, do the things that I want to do. It really kind of just depends on how I feel is kind of what I'm thinking. There's not really a right or wrong answer. I mean, my mom, she runs 5 days a week, at least 3 miles each day, and she's, I don't even know how old she is. Hold on, let me do some math. I think she's in her like mid-50s-ish, but maybe upper 50s. Don't hate me, Mom. But if you do want to kind of see how her training has changed over the course of her life, I'll link a video up here. I kind of interviewed her a little bit about how her training has evolved and changed over her life. So if you want another perspective, go ahead and check out that video. But yeah, that's kind of how my training has changed. It really is dependent on up to you and your goals. Should I be sore after every workout, or is it a myth that no soreness equals no growth? It is a myth that no soreness equals no growth. That is not true. You do not need to be sore after every single workout to make progress. And I would argue if you are sore after every single workout, you might need to address the overall volume that you're doing, your recovery. Something is not adding up there. Obviously, if you've like starting a new training program and like you switch things up recently, you might be sore every day the first week, maybe 2 weeks of a new program, but you shouldn't be sore after every single workout every single time. There might be something else going on there. And like, I personally don't get sore very often anymore. Yes, I've been training for years and things like that, but when I do switch up my workouts, there are times when I do get sore. Like I did sprints for the first time in a couple months the other day and my abs were sore. So yeah, I still get sore sometimes, but not after every single workout by any means. And if you are sore, you should probably only be sore for about 1 to 2 days. If you are sore for longer than that, then you probably did a little bit more than you need to / should have at that point in time. So adjust the volume accordingly. Similar but slightly different, is it necessary to sweat every single time you train? And that is also no. The climate that you're training in is gonna impact that. Your genetics is gonna impact that. Literally, sweat is just your body's trying to regulate your temperature. So we're sweating at all times. Even if you're not like dripping sweat, you are technically sweating because it just evaporates faster than you can see. When you work out, your body is trying to control your temperature, your internal temperature, because we want to stay the same for all our body functions. And so you're increasing the rate of sweat to release heat. And so that's why you see the sweat, is because it's a faster rate. And that's why you sweat more in a hotter environment, because your body's working harder to cool you back down and keep that same temperature. Do you want kids after you move in? So this question, yes, it's kind of an inappropriate question, and no, you really shouldn't ask people this, but I will answer this every time it comes in, because I strongly believe that you can do whatever you want with your own life. If you want kids, awesome. If you don't want kids, awesome. Do what works for you and your life situation. I do not want kids. I have known that since I was a kid myself, and that is that. So no, we are not having kids, maybe a fur baby at some point, AKA a dog, but we shall see at that point. We want to be able to provide a good home for said dog, so we want to have the capacity to take care of an animal before we actually get one. How can you improve recovery without sleep? Well, you need sleep. Sorry to break it to you. Like I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, I didn't sleep enough for a very long time and then realized that after I had shoulder surgery that I really needed to sleep more, and I felt so much better and I was so much more productive. I know not everyone is in the stage of life where they can get enough sleep, but trying to optimize that as much as possible is going to make a bigger difference than you think. Other things to help with recovery are going to be your hydration and nutrition and overall volume. So think that stress is cumulative regardless of the type of stress. Your body responds the same way. So your body's gonna respond the same to physical stress, mental stress, work stress, etc. So your body is going to recover in different ways based on the overall stress that you have. So you might need to prioritize or adjust your training if your life is a little bit more stressful in other areas as well. So keep that in mind. It's all about balance through that period. There's no such thing as balance over time, but like one thing is going to be a little bit more of a priority at one time, and then you're going to alternate back and forth. And that's kind of the phases, I guess, where you can be a little bit more balanced, I guess. That's my current philosophy, at least with balance. But nutrition, hydration, and sleep are fundamental, and you have to master those things before you can get to the fancy things like supplements and ice baths and saunas and all of that stuff, and like foam rolling, etc. So master those things first. Getting a little businessy with this one. So 2 to 3 things that surprised you or that were unexpected when you started an online business. So I would probably say that it's a lot harder to turn things off than I anticipated. I'm really an all or nothing kind of person, and I dive all in and cannot turn it off. So work-life balance is exceptionally difficult, and it's hard, especially because I am working at my kitchen table and my workouts are done in my living room, which is my kitchen. Yeah, it is my kitchen. Everything is in one spot, and so it's very hard to separate, and you have your phone on you, which is work as well. So it's very, very difficult to turn things off. But I truly love what I do at the same time, but I think it's healthy to have a little bit of separation, and I'm still learning that a little bit more. There's also a lot of random things that I know how to do that I never thought I would need or know how to do. Like I design my own website. Why do I know how to design a website? I don't know. As a physical therapist, it's like, why would I need to know how to do that? But I do. Lots of video editing too, that I now know how to do that I didn't think that I would know how to do. I always kind of wanted a camera, and I always had an interest in photography and documenting things, but I never thought I would be, I guess, editing on this level. So that's a little bit different and unexpected. One other thing that I learned was when your hobby becomes your work, you need another hobby, and I'm still working on that. You need something that is not something you do to make money, something that you can enjoy doing in your off time. I still enjoy the workout part of things, and I enjoy what I do, but it's definitely different when it's a hobby versus when it's your job. How to stay motivated when you're injured. Yes, waiting for stuff to heal is very annoying. I did film a video, I'll link it here, on tips on working out while you're injured. My go-to when I'm injured is to prioritize what I can prioritize and strengthen other things, work on areas of weaknesses, and create other goals. So you're still working towards something. So like still prioritizing sleep, hydration, nutrition. And then like when I had my shoulder surgery, I was pretty much just like, keep as much as I can. So I was biking on a stationary bike, not outside. Don't do that. And then I was doing as much leg training that I could do without jumping and respecting my protocol. Doing as much as you can, and you might have a little bit of another area of focus for that time being. And essentially like doing those things can help you come back stronger in the long run. I know every time I'm injured, I end up coming back stronger. Definitely it is possible, but I know it is frustrating. So best of luck with your healing. Favorite way to unwind or relax? I would probably say 3 things. Well, really 2 things. I'll add the third one in. I don't think that's, I mean, I enjoy it and I use it to relax, but anyways, we'll dive right in. Going on walks with my husband, we pretty much do this 6 days out of the week. We go on a walk, and it's time away from the phones, outside. We get to chat, and spend some quality time together, and I truly enjoy that. It definitely grounds me. And then going outside, the sunshine is amazing. And then we do kind of watch a little bit of TV. I probably use that more to relax sometimes. Like, I just feel like I need to put down the phone, and if it draws me in enough. There's only like a select number of shows that I watch, and I'm really bad about trying new shows, and it takes me a while to get through seasons of shows. A little bit of TV is sometimes nice, but really none of that during the week at all. It's really just on weekends in the evening, just to kind of unwind a little bit and chill. Do you ever take a workout class, or does anyone else train me? I don't like being told anymore what to do when I'm working out, is what I've realized whenever I try and go to a class. I like creating my own workouts or doing my own thing. Very rarely do I take a class or do someone else's workout. I think I've done it maybe 3 times in the last year or so, to throw out a number. It's not super often. I like to use my workouts to be a little bit more creative myself, so I don't know. Maybe it's the years of gymnastics and being told what to do, and now I don't like that. I don't know. I see you train every day. Do you think a rest day is needed? So just because I post on Instagram every single day does not mean I train every single day. I do not train every single day. I have 5 structured workouts per week, and then Saturdays and Sundays are typically my off days. Saturdays I might do either finish up my workouts from the week if I got behind and didn't have a chance to do them, or I will do a little bit of stretching or mobility work, and if I have time I might play a little bit. So I'll do some salmon ladders, I might flip, I might whatever I feel like doing that day, maybe do some more handstands, but that is kind of my play day if I do have time for that. And then Sunday is typically walks, so my husband and I will go on 2 walks that day, and then I'll do a little bit of stretching if I have a second. But that's pretty much all I do on my off days. I do something active because I like to stay moving every single day, but it's not a workout 2 days out of the week. So keep that in mind when you're just seeing things online, because you're doing enough. You don't have to do more, because what you see is not always what is reality. If you did like this style video, go ahead and let me know below, and go ahead and check out this video up here. I did a little bit of a Q&A a little while ago with my husband, so if you want some more Q&A stuff, it's right there for you.